set my intention with love and light to inspire divine beauty and clear insight, to love ourselves more with a heart so pure, while navigating life so that love endures, to shine our light so graciously, authentically, auspiciously. I set this intention, and it shall be. As above, so below, it is so. What's up, y'all? Peace, light, and love. And thank you so much for connecting with me. I'm Shakesha Divine. This is the Pretty Priestess Podcast. And boy, do we got this business for you today. I'm here to tell you in for a treat. No doubt about that. We go definitely help you in connecting and awakening the sex appeal within, baby. But before we get started, we want to make sure, because we closing out Taurus season, right? And we definitely got to make sure that we shouting out the Taurus out here. No doubt shouting the Taurus out. What? Taurus in the house. Another one of the fellow fixed energies out here in these particular cosmic streets. And if you don't have a Taurus in your life, you need to link up with one, because they definitely that business. You can count on them for giving you some grounded sound advice, some practical direction out here in these particular streets. They are those individuals that even may be tapping their foot in the mysticisms and all things magical out here in these particular streets. They can help and translate in that, right? So that it makes sense in the real world and everything, so that you can really get the most stuff out of it. And so this is what I love so much about those earth energies, right? They really help us to make all of those things mystical, magical, and everything. They really help us to ground it. So in this particular round, we winning out here in these particular streets. And so shout out to not just the earth energies, but right now, because we got that sun in Taurus, shout out to the Taurus. Now, when the sun is in Taurus, the sun is all about shining that light. It is the luminary, no doubt about that. The Taurus brings in that I am energy. It asks you to examine yourself out here and examine yourself and where you at, especially as far as your values is concerned out here in these particular streets, right? Because right now we got Taurus finishing up in them last degrees and everything. And so those last degrees of Taurus energy, right? It brings that Saturnian energy to it, that Saturnian vibration, right? And so this is really making sure that we're aligning the things that we're going after, that we're pursuing in our life, right? The things that we're trying to manifest, right? Is it in alignment with our values right about now? And so this right now is really an auspicious time for us to really sit with that. Think about that for a little bit. We got that Gemini moon that's coming up soon and everything, right? And so that's going to bring a whole little extra sparkle to that energy. But right now we dealing with the Aquarius moon as I'm recording this shit right about now. And when that moon, that other luminary baby out here in these particular streets, it is really encouraging us to embrace how we feel. You understand what I'm saying? And so with that moon being in Aquarius and everything, this is all about us embracing our authenticity, our uniqueness and everything. And this particular podcast, baby, is really encouraging and inspiring us to do just that. And I'm going to help you to link up to that connection. That's going to really help you to get your truest expression out here in the day. Because I promise you, when you are in your truest, your most authentic expression, in my particular experience, this is what has made me be a lot more magnetic. It helps me to be more at ease and everything. And when I'm at ease and I'm around and I'm in the energy, I was about to say, and I'm around folks that's receiving me. But see, this is what makes you attractive to those folks that's receiving you, right? Is when you're in your authenticity. And so I'm liking this whole thing a whole lot and everything. We go definitely get this work, no doubt about it and everything. Let me get me a swig of something to drink and everything. You know, throat getting all dry. I'm getting some throat chakra activations out here in these particular streets. I don't know about you all, but Taurus rules the throat. And so when we got that sun that's in Taurus, right, I'm out here saluting that sun and I'm getting me some of these throat chakra activations and everything, so I can be out here in these streets speaking truth to power. No doubt about that, right? And so one of the things that I have been doing too is as well is really coming up with ways to make my self-care routine a little bit more magical, a little bit more in alignment with who I am energetically, and then also to be in tune with the divine cipher, right? And for me, what I call the divine cipher, these are all of those signs and symbols and everything that that spirit leaves out there for us, that gives us that divine guidance to help in navigating us through this thing we call ascension right about now, right? And so when we looking at the cosmos, right, and the planetary alignments, all of the aspects and transits and everything, that's a part of that divine cipher. When you see that hawk flying across, that's a part of the divine cipher. The colors that we're putting on in our lives, that's the divine cipher. You understand what I'm saying? The divine cipher is all around us. It's all around us, and spirit is constantly communicating with us. You seeing 222 on your clock. You seeing 444 on your clock. Divine cipher, baby, divine cipher. And so with that, I make sure that I'm tapping in to this divine cipher on everything that I do, because it provides me with that divine guidance so that I can elevate, be in my highest vibration, be in my most magnetic expression, be in all of those things, things considered, what have you. And so in my life, man, it has made a major difference in my life and everything. And so divine has just been assisting me, helping me grow, getting me along my journey, moving me out of these energies that's really helping me to be more of my authentic self, right? Without the need for the validation and everything, without being concerned for all of that. And so this magic we tapping into is definitely getting us here for that. No doubt about that. But we talking Taurus season. One of the things that I put together that's really been helping, especially awakening that throat chakra activation, is making my own mouthwash. Now, we got a lot of poisonous out here in these particular streets, right? I mean, we got a lot of madness that's going on out here, and they on the shelves and they selling them to you. Now, just because they're effective don't mean that this is all in your best interest, right? Because we see these Roundup commercials, right? And we already heard all of the stories, all of the madness about the Roundup and everything, and about all of the side effects and the baggage that goes along with that. And so why anybody is putting that shit in their garden, I have no idea what in the world, what have you. But what they tell you is that this shit works. It's effective. And just because it's effective, does that mean we need to be using that? I mean, there's a tax that comes with that. You understand what I'm saying? And so likewise with these mouthwashes, family, we got a lot of taxes that come with them. So I decided to make my own damn mouthwash. I don't need this aggravation in my life, right? And so real easy to do, right? You can definitely get any water, whatever water you use and what have you, right? We tap water, spring water, distilled water, however you trying to do it. But I do want to check in though and let you know that many of us, especially yours truly, right? We live in areas they fluoridate the water and they put fluoride in the water. Now, okay, now the story is, now the word on the street is that fluoride that's in the water is really helping and preventing tooth decay, because they put the fluoride in the toothpaste and that prevents the tooth decay. And so that's going to help us to not have any dental issues. Now, this should be putting these damn dentists out of business, right? However, unfortunately, we still end up finding ourselves seeing these dentists. Now, I want you to know one thing. If this is what you want to do, you want to use that because it got the fluoride in it and you think that this is going to strengthen your teeth, you go right ahead. But I'm here to tell you the devil is a lie. Fluoride is a neurotoxin. Let's get it clear out here in these particular streets. Do your research, do your due diligence and everything, and then please decide for yourself. But thank goodness we got someone, I forgot what the hell he's supposed to be. He working with, you know what I'm saying, the Food and Drug Administration and everything, food and drug, whatever. Anyway, the Food and Drug Administration and everything. And so what he was doing is trying to build the campaign of moving the fluoride out of the water. So we got a couple of states that's really awakening to, maybe not so much, huh? So, you know what I'm saying? So there's something else to consider at the end of the day. You do what the hell you want to do. But anyway, you get you some water. I like to use some glass containers, but then you know what? Here's the other thing too. The dark containers too. You know what I'm saying? Because it preserves the essential oils that we put into this, right? And so I'll use a container like this, but I also, if you got a dark glass container, that's probably optimum. Or peroxide bottles, because those is dark and they hold in, and it blocks the light from coming through and everything. So whatever, what have you, or you keep this in a cabinet or a drawer so that the light's not getting it, and you know what I'm saying, and pulling off of the vibration on the essential oils. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to fill this up about 16, 20 ounces, right? I like to use about 3 tablespoons of sea salt, right? 3 tablespoons of sea salt, because see, gargling with that salt water and everything, salt is a purifier. Understand what I'm saying? And so when you gargling with that salt water, that's already helping with them lymph nodes and everything, and helping that drainage and everything, and clearing all of that up and everything, right? So it's already a powerful, a ultra powerful thing to do anyway. However, right? And it's also good for your oral hygiene as well, right? So then adding that in there, but I like to make it the hot water hot first, right? And so I put the hot water in first with the 3 tablespoons of salt and everything, right? It's gonna make it salty than a bitch. And then you shift that on up and everything. You add the rest of the water in there. And then here's what I like to add to it. I like to add peppermint oil, clove oil, and oregano oil. Now, however you do it, see, I got magic number combinations and shit like that, you know, all for my own reasons, what have you, and everything. My number sequence, I like the number 4. And so I deals with 4 in a big and powerful way. 4, 7, those is the type of numbers I like dealing with and shit like that. But I got various combinations. Now, however many essential oil drops, what have you, that you want to add in there, you go ahead and do that. But one of the things that I do want you be easy with that damn oregano oil. So when I'm dealing with that oregano oil, I only put 2, no more than 3 drops in that particular shit, right? Because that oregano oil is powerful, especially if you're getting a really good grade quality of that oregano oil. Ultra powerful. But let me tell you something, oregano oil is an antimicrobial, right? Like, this is really helping in building up that immune system, right? It's raising that is raising the frequency of that particular mouthwash, no doubt about it, right? And so then we adding in the peppermint and everything, right? And peppermint, it aligns you with so many beneficial energies, right? All you got to do is set your intention with this peppermint, right? It's gonna get you in alignment for whatever it is, what have you, right? Peppermint is really good when you're trying to move in, towards goals that are aligned with prosperity and everything, helping you get connected with that. So does the clove, right? And so all of these auspicious energies are all connected with that. But then within, they offer that refreshment, right? Clove oil is really good in working with, right? It really helps with prosperity and everything. It also helps to repel that naysayer, player, hater energy and all of that type of vibration, right? And so I'm adding all of these together because these are all good in supporting my oral hygiene, right? And so I'm one of those cats. I bring that spirituality, that practicality and everything. I'm weaving and bobbing both in two, right? And so I'm taking the healing medicinal benefits of the essential oils and also the magical benefits of the essential oil, combining them all in there and really allowing that shit to work for my highest and greatest good. That's what the hell I'm talking about, baby. And so we getting that work, no doubt about it. Shout out to the tourist season. Throat chakra activation right there. I'm telling you, when you start utilizing this particular shit, it definitely helps refresh your mouth like nobody's business. And if you're one of those cats that had them bleeding gums and all of that type of shit like that, utilize this after you floss your teeth and everything. You go see some real benefits with that. It's a power move right there, baby. I'm here to tell you. And then you can be all up in folks' face and everything, talking that shit, talking what you talk, whatever, and you know what I'm saying, what have you, and you go feel confident about that conversation you having all up close. This I can assure you. So definitely make sure you're doing that particular business. It's going to help you along your journey. This I assure you. So I'm hoping that was helpful for you. I like that shit a whole lot. That's what I do. Okay, now let me talk about this particular energy, baby. We go get this work, no doubt about that. I'm sorry, I be vibing to my little mellow music in the background. I'm saying I think it was getting a little loud. Hopefully it wasn't talking over me and whatnot. But anyway, let's talk about this true expression energy right here. Because see, let me tell you something. See, when I started really utilizing the astrology, right, in helping me in being in divine alignment, just tapping into the divine cipher, But astrology within itself, because it gives you these energetic points that you can really work with, like these is the bones. You understand what I'm saying? And so working with this astrology, I started studying all of the placements and everything and where my intentions were, right? And so we have a lot of astrologers that are out here that will encourage you to utilize the Venus placement. I like that a whole lot, right? Because the Venus is really about where that magnetism is and everything. And so if you really out there trying to really improve that in one way, that Venus sign is definitely an auspicious type. No doubt about it. The rising sign, this is the one that I've been working with, because the rising sign, it deals with your appearance, how you show up in the world, the impression that you make out here in these particular streets, right? And so when you putting your best foot forward, if you really going to get in alignment, you do that with that rising sign. And this is going to really help in connecting you to the star player. No doubt about that, right? I like that one too. But then check this particular aspect out, right? Because we talking about that truest expression. See, when we looking at that rising sign, this is the part that we show to the world, right? This is the representative out here in these streets. But what if you trying to live inside out? What we finna do with that particular energy, right? And so then I started discovering, started really sitting back and settling about how we need to really be tapping into the truest expression, right? This is really going to get us in alignment with the truth and who we are. Is going to make us the most magnetic, right? This is really going to be the way of expressing in this new cycle coming up. Authenticity is the way. We got Pluto that's in Aquarius, baby, and Aquarius is all about you being in your unique authenticity. So let's get it. Let's get this business right here. So I'm going to add this to the stage. So what I like right here, I got my Venus, my rising, and all of these auspicious placements on the Pisces Virgo axis, right? And so this is about spirituality and practicality. This is the mystic healer, right? This is that flow and grounded. And so this right here is really a true example of what my style is. And if anybody that, listen, I'm one of those people, I have like a uniform. This is where I'm going with that. I have like a uniform. I'm noticing there's a form of operating that I typically have. And what that is for me is always like some type of a shirt that, you know what I'm saying, that I like the way that it's fitting and everything. It has to fit a certain way and everything. And then I have to have that flow. I need that flow. I need it in the flow. I need the skirt that's flowing. I need the pants that's flowing. I'm typically wearing pants with wider legs. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing a skirt that's flowing and what have you and everything. And so this right here, it really kind of does tap into the true essence of what my typical uniform is. I deviate once in a while. No doubt about that. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm going to go ahead and step outside of the box. But this is typically where my uniform is. And so what this is just really about me being in my most authentic energy and everything. And so the Pisces Virgo vibration is what that is. No doubt about that. And so let me talk about where I'm peeping all of this particular energy, right? This is that Black Moon Lilith vibration that I'm on right here. See, this Black Moon Lilith, right? This is an alignment rather than a physical planet. And this indicates the point where the moon's orbit is furthest from the earth. So what are we talking about? This is the shadow self, right? This is the repressed desires. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we feel ashamed of this particular aspect of ourselves, right? But this is what your soul's purpose is, for real. No doubt about this. At the end of the day, it really aligns you with the truth and who you are, right? This is also, it talks about what it represents, the part of yourself that must be healed and brought to light in order for you to live in the full embodiment of who you are. Connecting to that Lilith, that Black Moon Lilith is what's going to really give you the tap into your true and authentic expression. No doubt about it. And so this Black Moon Lilith right here is really bringing in the vibes. No doubt about that, right? Now, see, for me, I have my Black Moon Lilith in that Virgo Pisces spectrum as well, too. So I'm one of those. I'm fortunate, right? So I got all of those placements of my expression. I came here to be the truth and who I am. No doubt about that. Let's get this work out here in these particular streets. But what I'm recognizing is that it is the spectrum of energy. It is the 6 accesses of energy. And the six accesses of energy are Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Aquarius, and Virgo, Pisces. Okay. And those accesses of energy is going to really help in broadening up your authentic expression, right? This is going to really give you that duality that we've been dealing with. We got Jupiter and Gemini that's really giving us that expansion on that duality within ourselves. I think we need to respect that. No doubt about that. And so the Lilith, it being that shadow part of yourself, that's the one that you truly, this is the energy that you truly are. Now, this, like I said, the truest expression. And so me coming in here again, hold up, let me back that up again, because I need to go ahead and get in on this particular outfit right here. See, even though, because I got my son that's in Leo and everything, right? So I'm always true to the energy of who I am and the vibration that I'm feeling at that particular time. And so we got that goddess Kali, you know what I'm saying? And this is all in that dark goddess pantheon and whatnot and everything. But I still got that flow that's going on, right? And still, then around, we know that Virgo, it rules the abdomen, right? The waist area, right in that solar plexus area. And so one of the things that I always have, is a part of my uniform, is having that belt on, because I have that rectangular like shape and everything. I need those belts and everything to help to bring some of that definition. You know what I'm saying? With love, I used to try to convince myself that I had the hourglass figure. I mean, I was really trying to convince myself. And so you know what I did? I said, you know what? The belt is going to help to bring the convincing in right there. That's what we doing right there. Hourglass figure I got. Forget what y'all heard. Okay. So here we go right there. I got my hourglass figure going on. I know it ain't looking that way, but I'm still liking this vibe though. I'm still feeling hot. I'm feeling tapped in and connected to my star player. No doubt about that. And then the other thing that's on this particular access, right? Because I got not Black Moon Lilith that's in Pisces, right? And so one of the things that I really was kind of ashamed of and kind of fearful of is the mystic that's within me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to think I'm going to hell out here in these particular streets. But then I got into a place as I gotten older and everything, I can't hold who I truly am back in order to make other folks feel comfortable out here in these particular streets, right? And so me just being myself, being in my true authentic expression, I don't give a damn what it looks like to you. I know exactly who it is that I am, right? And so me just going ahead, being proud and in the business of who I am, and ain't nobody go help you do that. Show up with a Cali shirt on and watch the gas face show up all around you, right? Because I'm here to tell you that folks is go gawk and hog me like, what the fuck you got on your shirt right there? Now, let me tell you something. It was a beautiful woman. I forgot what her name was, but I ran into her out there at the Super Walmart, who knew exactly who Lilith, who knew exactly who Callie was, and really came in over there and just like shouted that whole energy out and everything, and really got into this discussion about how this energy is all the way misunderstood at the end of the day and everything, and how folks is just not in the business of doing the work and studying it. So I had to shout this sister out right there, because she definitely pulled me to the side and was like, you go ahead with that shit, sis. So whatever, what have you, shouting her out as well. But this is absolutely a misunderstood energy and everything. But when you connect with that, this is a nurturing mother goddess and everything. Also a fierce protector. You know what I'm saying? She ain't playing with your ass out here in these particular streets. This is demon slayer energy. No doubt about that, right? And so rocking that shit with that fierce red and everything. And then I got that cowrie shell belt and everything. It just comes in there and it taps into that vibration in a most auspicious way, right? Bringing that mother water energy component into that fiery element and everything. That's who I am. That's what I'm talking about, right? And then as I've also gotten older and evolved in my mentality and everything, I've really become more supportive of my feet, right? In my younger years, I've done everything to wear these damn heels and wear shoes that I just thought was cute and all of this other stuff. That was what was important to me. But then I started bringing in that Virgo Pisces energy, combining them together. You go balance that practicality with the spirituality. You go bring that wisdom to the table, right? And so what I've been doing is really finding those shoes that really support my feet and really help to align me with who I am. Now I got both pairs of my moccasins on because I couldn't choose between the two when I was out, right? And so there was a dark pair that's a darker brown moccasin, right? And then we got more of the golden color moccasin and whatnot, right? And so of course I'm going with the golden moccasins today. You know what I'm saying? So I rock with that and everything, put the other ones up and everything. And so I'll usually put them on and see which way they rock with my outfit the best and everything, even though I don't know, I always intuitively know, but I just do that for whatever reason, what have you. But this is what I'm doing. So anyway, yeah, that Black Moon Lilith, it just really taps into that. Now, this right here is an authentic expression. This is what's inside and it's coming out. And I'm liking that a whole lot. And then the truest expression, no doubt about that. Got that King Tut vibration tapping into them Isis vibes, no doubt about that. And that's still all in the Kali energy and everything. This is that great mother energy we tapping into and everything. But then we got this navy blue. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is a Virgoian expression in my humble opinion, right? Because this is really about, for me, this navy blue, this is a color of discernment. You understand where I'm coming with that? And so I got that ground belt to bring that grounded energy into that solar plexus area and everything. With this particular outfit, I would absolutely probably go with the darker shoes. You know what? You can wear either one of them. I mean, they rocks both of them, don't they? So anyway, whatever, what have you. We would just have to, you know what I'm saying, see where the spirit lead me and everything. But this right here is the aspect of yourself that you truly desire to be. Mystic is who I've always wanted to be, always desired to be. That's who in the hell it is that I'm going to be. And I don't need any approval with that. So this what I do, right? This is the aspect that we hide so that we don't face the scrutiny. Don't care anymore. Check. Okay. And then link to freeing yourself, being in alignment with your authentic self. I got to tell you how free I am. Now, let me tell you something. On some level, I've always dressed this way and everything, but just coming all the way out, feeling free enough to just really be about the vibe that I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Game changer. Inside out expression. When you can bring what's going on the inside to your outside, this is when you know that you connected to your star player. And this right here, my loves, this is how you really connect to that sexy vibration within you. This is how you awaken that sex appeal. Let's not get it twisted. So let's talk about how that can look for you, right? Let's talk about how we can make that work for everybody on there. We gonna get this work right here. And what I call this is the Astro sexy, baby. Because again, nothing is more sexy than being authentic, baby. That is when you know you truly got that work about that business, right? All right, so let's get it. Let's talk. Oh, this is leaving. Where is that dude dribbling off of it? Whatever. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's get into this business right here. Now, I'm going to go through all of the 6 spectrums, all of the 6 ones, and just talk about some things, you know what I'm saying, just to really help to gain that auspicious tap and that energy. So we go get this business. We talking about that Astro sexy. Now, this is an aspect of that fashion magic. We gonna make it do what it do. Let's get this work. No? Yes. All right. So we talking on that Aries Libra. Now, listen, when we was in Aries season, I talked about bringing that auspicious hat to the whole particular situation and everything. But see, that Aries Libra vibration and everything, this is really the let's talk about the Lilith in Aries and Lilith in Libra vibration, right? The truest expression on that Aries Libra vibration, right? Aries rules the head. You know what I'm saying? Libra is about balance and harmony in your relationships and in who you are and everything. It balances the masculine and the feminine and everything, right? And so tapping into that Libra vibration, you go do a little bit of androgyny on that particular level, right? But this ain't about you, you know what I'm saying? However, what have you, right? But this is how you do it to really make it like shine in your appeal, right? And so for me, like if you out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a woozy type of girl and everything. Having you a nice ass auspicious hat, this is gonna bring you to a whole nother level. Having that auspicious hat, that's going to bring you to a whole nother level. I don't know why people in the Sam Hill want to call me while I'm trying to record. They lost their mind. Anyway, having that hat, bringing that balance in, right? That masculine, that feminine and everything. Game changing energy right there and everything. And so with that Libra, the Libra Aries spectrum and everything, a distinctive hat. Wearing that shit ace deuce because you know that Libra balance energy and whatnot and everything. It also, Libra also deals with that lower back and everything. Get you a tramp stamp, some shit like that, right? Because this is all about you embracing the darker aspects within yourself, right? And so if you got you a distinctive hat and everything, right, this is a power move. You understand what I'm saying? And so this brings a little air of mystery and everything to yourself and everything, bringing that little bit of androgyny to the whole thing. So you give you that whole peekaboo and everything. See, what they don't really tell you is that really powerful men and everything, they really get in on the aspect of the androgyny within women, the powerful women. You know what I'm saying? Now we know, we hear a lot of folks talking about they like that women, they want them to see them softer and all of that other stuff like that. But for real, they really like women that's in their power at the end of the day. And so when you tapping into this particular vibration, you doing something totally different, family. This I can assure you. So this is that Aries Libra vibration. Find your Lilith placement and definitely tap into the frequency of wherever that is. If you got this on your particular chart, you might want to do that. Now the Taurus Scorpio vibration. The Taurus Scorpio vibration is magnetism beyond seduction, baby. So this is about like maybe bringing in these plunging necklines, right? Embracing the occult shit that you might be into with that Scorpio Taurus type of energy, right? This is about embracing the leather, the belts, the darkness and anything, that vamp energy and everything, right? But also bringing in that practicality, right? Because it got that Venusian vibration and everything. And so I brought these two particular vibes in and everything, bringing that hot energy up in there and everything. You see how you got that little, you know what I'm saying, that little plunging neckline. You know Taurus rules that neck, right? So we definitely go play up the necklaces, whatever, you know what I'm saying, what have you, or drop that neckline a little something. And then we talking about this whole energy of wearing that black leather and everything, bringing that biker babe effect to it and everything, rocking in that true authentic darkness. We don't give a damn what somebody is thinking. At the end of the day, this what it looked like, no doubt about it. Let's go on to the Gemini Sag vibration. Now this right here is a whole different. This is about being fearless in that expression and everything, right? This is about being fearless in that expression. And when you fearless in your expression, hold on, let me figure out how I'm gonna sit up and get this phone. You know what I'm saying? We got to put an end to that, right? So we gonna have to, hold on, let me figure out what we doing out here in these particular streets. I don't know. I don't figure all of that shit out. I'm gonna go into this phone and find my do not disturb so that people leave me to hell be. I don't know. See, this is how the devil like to work. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? That's how the devil like to work. We go get this work. Well, we go get this work. We go get this work. Boom. We go put that on right now. Yeah. Let's get it right now. All right. Hold on. What I do? We go choose that. Do not disturb. Across my devices. We putting that on. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's get it on. All right. I think this is on now. Am I on? Yeah. Perhaps. Maybe. Maybe so. Maybe no. Okay. We go put that on. Yeah. So yeah, I'm bringing that on. No, it ain't on either. You know, go away. You know. And so with that, we gotta do that. I don't know how to turn this on now. I don't know what the hell. Uh, oh, Right. God, the screen. We'll bring that. All right. We'll bring it. Two. There we go. So listen, there we go. Got that do not disturb. We doing it now. I'm doing it in now. I don't know who the hell that is, but they can wait. They can wait. They can wait. Anyway, let me get back to the Gemini Sag. We ain't gonna stop this party right here because Gemini deals with the arms, the shoulders, and shit like that. So you definitely want to make sure you got some sexy gameplay with that particular energy. No doubt about that, right? And then also Sagittarius, it rules the butt, the thighs, and all of that type of shit and everything. So you really want to accentuate that particular energy, right? You really want to be able to show that off and everything and really like bring that about and everything. Now, this is embracing the sexy in that particular vibration and energy and everything. So one of the things that really might be auspicious is an off the shoulder shirt. You know what I'm saying? Some driving gloves, some little booty shorts. Get you some little ass shorts. Come on now, let's get that work. But one of the things that I'm going to advise is maybe being a little bit more proportionate, because what I've noticed is that we got a lot of folks that's out here in these streets. When they start wearing these little shorts and whatnot, right? They start, you know, the shirt is little and you know what I'm saying? The shorts is little and everything. And I mean, if this is where you really catching your vibe at, baby, let's get that work. Let's make no mistake about it, right? But all about that being proportionate, right? And so when you rocking in that Gemini Sag, this is one of the things that I'd like to do too myself, right? I like to wear like more longer sleeves with the shorts, right? And so if I'm wearing short shorts, I got longer sleeves on my arm and everything, and it makes it a little bit more proportionate and it elevates the sex appeal and everything. And so that's what I'm liking with that and everything. And even though I still rock my knees, let me tell y'all something. A couple years ago, I was talking to a priestess and I was telling her about how I had a friend of mine tell me to not wear these short skirts because I got knocky knees. And I thought that I was looking cute. And then, you know what I'm saying, looked and noticed, yeah, you know, my knees do knock. And I think, you know what I'm saying, that at the end of the day, the friend of mine meant well and everything. But this priestess told me, you know what, forget what they told you. You do what you like. And so that's exactly what in the hell I do. I don't give a damn if my knees is knocky. And so that's what I'm doing. I put that on and put those together. But when I got those sleeves on with that, I don't know, it just helps it feel a little bit more proportionate for me and everything. And so with that, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it that way, and it just really helps to balance that whole vibration out and everything. So definitely get you a nice little slit in your skirt or some shit like that that shows that thigh action off. But you definitely go tap into that sexy vibration on that particular thing. No doubt about it. All right, let me move on. Let me move the hell on. The Cancer Cap vibration. Let's get this work. Now listen, you know Cancer rules the breast, right? So we gonna show off the girls. Why not? Let's do it. I like it a whole lot. So this is what I'm doing when I'm tapping into this particular energy and frequency and vibration, no doubt about it, right? And so doing all of that is really helping me get into that, right? Because see, it's all about how I'm feeling and shit like that, right? And so I'm definitely doing that. And then, you know, Capricorn energy and everything. I don't know. I'm married to a Capricorn. That's some conservative ass energy. You got to really, you know what I'm saying? Encourage the caps to come up out of the tightness. You understand what I'm saying? So getting you a little cleavage top, buttoning that shirt down a little bit, bring that hair down, because you know Capricorn, they rule that hair and everything. Go and let your hair down. You can do that, can't you? You can let your hair down. Ain't nothing gonna help to free you like letting that hair down and everything and letting it swing and everything. I like getting that airflow through it and everything. Yeah, it's all mine. And we go get this work, no doubt about that. So we talking about this Cancer Capricorn, you know what I'm saying? Get you a cleavage type, let your hair down, get you some red fingernails. You know, caps rule over them nails and all of that shit. And this right here is going to help in elevating your sexy. It's going to make you come out there feeling like you can conquer the world. And I'm liking that whole vibe a whole lot. Let's get it. Let's get it. No doubt. All right. The Aquarius Leo vibration. I got this all turned sideways and everything. Hollywood. Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. See, this right here, this is the energy of strutting your stuff. This is about you being a sovereign ruler and knowing it, because Aquarius is the knower, and Leo is the regal ruler. You understand what we talking about? But when you know that this is who you is, right? When you understand that this is who you are, baby, this is when you tap into a whole nother frequency. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? And so with this particular energy, right, you tapping in, you get you a designer scarf, because this right here is going to get you into that whole Leo Aquarius vibration. No doubt about it. Feel totally transported on that and shit, right? Because see, the designer scarves, they have such unique, you know what I'm saying, an eccentric type of prints on there and everything that taps right on into that whole Aquarian vibration and everything. But then you got that Hollywood no autographs wrap around your head, and then you throw you some sunglasses on. You know Leos need them some sunglasses out here in these particular streets and shit, right? And so that's what the hell you finna do with that particular thing. Or then you can go ahead and just let it shine out and be out and let it be wild, let it be proud and everything, and get you some catty looking sunglasses and everything. That's going to really help to bring that star power about, and you tapping into that particular air, to that particular energy, right? So we talking about designer prints, sunglasses, ankle bracelets, because Aquarius rule that ankle bracelet. Get you something a little sexy around them ankles, no doubt about that. Get you a halter top with that back out, because Leo is about that back, that spinal column and everything. And that sun hit that, you know what I'm saying? Now, me, I got a few little rolls on my back and everything. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that it's a right fit. You know what I'm saying? But that's that Virgo rising to me. I need that fit to be right. But I got to tell you something. The devil is in the details, y'all. The devil is in the details. And I'm gonna say, let's tap into the inner Virgo on all aspects when we dealing in fashion and everything. It must fit correctly. It must, because I promise you, wearing something too small or too large, it does a disservice to you. Make sure that shit is fitting you correctly. Let's get this work. And of course, we going again with the Virgo Pisces, because we talking about that midriff, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And this is that solar plexus activation and everything. Now you got to watch, especially with these little girls and everything, because I noticed that we got a lot of little girls just running around with these midriff tops off and everything. And I just really have some small concerns with that, having that area, that energy center exposed at such a young age and everything. Like, this is like, it exudes sexual energy, you understand? And so if you ain't really aware of how to navigate your sexual energy at that particular point, it could be misused. And so it might be, you know, in our best interest to really be mindful with those particular outfits, especially when we're dealing with those children that are not of age yet. And so this Virgo Pisces vibration, it really does encourage and you tapping into that, because you know sexual energy is healing energy, it's creative energy, no doubt. And so the people that have the highest amount of sexual energy have a lot of healing energy within them too, no doubt about that. And on this Virgo Pisces thing, again, you know, I like that flow, I like how that goes and all of that other stuff. And so those midriff tops, some strappy sandals, you know, we talking getting that that Pisces vibe that's ruling the feet and everything. Something that's going to really elevate your feet, make it look sexy, help you to connect to the sexy vibration within yourself. Get you some waist beads, baby. That's going to really bring the whole thing up a notch or two. No doubt about that. Them toe rings and everything, sweeping skirts, shit like that, there definitely going to help you to tap into the inner goddess within yourself, the goddess frequency, no doubt about that. And so with this, I'm telling y'all, I'm loving this whole vibe a whole lot. It's a whole vibe. And when we tap into the authentic expression that is within us, man, we talking about whole nother level. This is the truth and who it is that we are. We ain't doubting that, no doubt about that. And so this is really truly all about us awakening that sex appeal that's within ourselves. And so I was going through and I'm dealing with these goddesses and everything. And so of course, you know, we go see what messages these goddesses had and everything. And one of the cards fell. And so I knew that this was definitely a message that needed to go ahead and come on now. And so these guardian goddesses, they started off wanting to make sure that we understand that we need to be at peace, because the divine feminine is watching over over us. And so the Zoria comes through reminding us about how protected we are and who we are. It's safe to be seen, baby. It's safe to be who it is that you are. And so these goddesses, the guardian goddesses, is coming through, checking in to remind you about you being able to feel safe and being your authentic self. So what needs to happen? We talking, right? And the goddess Gaia comes through. This is the Mother Earth goddess. And her message is letting us know that we can create our life, envision it, and desire it that you want to be. See, this is letting you know, baby, if you can dream it, you can be it, baby. You get to be what your heart desires at the end of the day. And so the goddess Gaia is coming through, reminding you, checking in, making sure that you understand that this is birthright business right here, right? And telling you that you can envision your life, you can make it happen, baby. So don't you allow no naysayer, no player hater, and any of those type of energies out here encourage you to not be the authentic, be in your authentic expression. Boom, there we go. And so the goddess Rhiannon come through. Now, this is the horse goddess. Now, this is all about, see, when that horse totem comes up, this is all about freedom. This is all about making sure that you understand that you're free to be you. No doubt about this. And see, the goddess Rhiannon is coming through. This horse goddess is telling you to choose an action to reach your goal, because now is the time. And this goddess is telling you, go ahead, let's get this work. Let's move. Let's be about the business of doing those things that we doing. Because at the very end of the day, the goddess Sybil comes through. And this is the goddess of animals and the mistress of animals. This is the goddess that comes through to remind us about that animal nature that's within us. See, there's duality within all of us. And when we tap into that Black Moon Lilith expression and everything, this allows us to really begin to embrace that dark side within us, right? And so when you utilize the spectrum of energy and everything, it helps in balancing that out. And so those earth energies, along with the water energies, is about balancing that practicality and the spirituality, right? And then the fire and the air energies, right? They're coming together to make sure that our mind is in alignment with those things that we are expressing out here in the world. And so when we are doing that, when we are acknowledging the truth and who we are, this is when we begin elevating our expression. And so this goddess Sybil is coming through, checking in, reminding you about embracing that animal nature within yourself. And when you do that, when you become at home, at peace with yourself, this is what's going to elevate that sex appeal within you, because you ain't sitting around studying and focusing on what somebody else is feeling. You about the business of being the truth and who it is that you are. So this right here, baby, is some powerful work. Get into it, be about the business of it, baby. And I assure you, it will change your life. Authentic expression. Now, I'm hoping, I'm praying that this was helpful for you. Love you, sending out so much love, so much light. Peace and light, peace and love.